Part 34. Shui Chen wants to kill Yi Yang, who discovered his secret. Yi Yang, who watched the dancers dance the whole time, didn't drink much. He walked out of the hall and hurried to the thatched hut. After he solved the 3 urgent problems, he walked leisurely on the road, listening to the sound of insects. Suddenly, out of the corner of his eye, he caught a glimpse of Shui Chen's sneaky figure, which immediately aroused his curiosity, and he followed Shui Chen far behind with a cat on his waist. Shui Chen was very cautious, and the road he chose was very remote and quiet, and Yi Yang was almost thrown away several times. It is precisely because of this that Yi Yang's curiosity is aroused even more. He followed Shui Chen for half an hour before Shui Chen stopped. Shui Chen cautiously looked behind him and made sure that no one was following him, so he walked into the pavilion in front. There was already a man in white standing in the pavilion. Because of the distance, Yi Yang couldn't see the other person's appearance, but he had already guessed who the other person was after seeing this gorgeous dress today. Damn it, it's awesome. In broad daylight, the world is bright. In the emperor's harem, the imperial concubine actually met another man privately, and so blatantly put a cuckold on the emperor. This imperial concubine is awesome. He sneaked closer, hiding behind a big tree, revealing a round eye, watching every move on the opposite side. However, when he saw the picture in the pavilion, he was deeply shocked. The two just stood in the pavilion, with only each other in their eyes, as if time froze at this moment, and the whole world was just the two of them. At a glance, it is more appropriate to describe them. Yi Yang used to be very disgusted with same-sex marriage, but after seeing the two, he realized that love really does not distinguish between genders. But the person he likes happens to be you. Shui Chen sighed and asked softly, "How are you doing?" "Very good." Mo Yan's eyes showed a deep love for Shui Chen. Shui Chen hesitated for a long time, and said leisurely, "General Mo, you are not too young, it is time to start a family." Obviously, he was fully prepared, but after saying this sentence, his heart still hurts. Seeing Shui Chen persuade him to get married, Mo Yan's heart aches. He knew that he would not be able to stay with Shui Chen until he was old, and he also knew that he should let go. But he knew that it was one thing, and letting go was another. He couldn't marry someone else, and he couldn't share a bed with someone else. Seeing Mo Yan's silence, Shui Chen knew that Mo Yan's character was stubborn, and the person he identified was his whole life. So he could only be cruel. "General Mo, we are not children anymore. How can we take the love words we said when we were young and frivolous?" Mo Yan fiercely he widened his eyes and looked shocked. "Are you going to veto our past now?" Shui Chen's hand hidden in the sleeve robe clenched into a fist, his nails were deeply embedded in the flesh, and traces of blood came out. But even so, he couldn't hide the pain in his chest. He chuckled lightly, "I thought I once liked you, but I learned later that it wasn't like that. It was just appreciation when I was young." He didn't dare to look directly at Mo Yan. Afraid that he would soften his heart when he saw the expression on Mo Yan's face, he looked into the distance and tried to pull a smile from the corner of his mouth. "After spending all these years with your majesty, I just discovered what love is." "Really?" Mo Yan suddenly realized how ridiculous his love for him had become. He wanted to laugh, but couldn't. His heart was bleeding, and his breathing gradually became difficult. He lost the courage to face the indifferent Shui Chen, turned around and fled. Shui Chen looked at the back of the desert and fled. His eyes were covered with a layer of water mist, and a tear slipped down his cheek. If Mo Yan's father hadn't found him and asked him to persuade Mo Yan to get married as soon as possible, he would not have said such heartless words to his former lover. He stood in the pavilion for a long time, like a statue, lifeless. Yi Yang, who was hiding behind the tree, was really tired from standing. He moved his legs that were stiff from standing for a long time. Just as he was about to turn to leave, he suddenly felt a chill in his heart and was enveloped in a chill. He hurriedly raised his head, only to see that Shui Chen, who had a gentle expression in the past, looked like a killing god, staring at him coldly and ruthlessly. Yi Yang was so frightened that he stepped back involuntarily, trying to put a smile on his face. What a coincidence. The imperial concubine is also walking around. Shui Chen didn't understand, but he didn't want to understand. Now he just wants to kill Yi Yang, who discovered his secret. If the emperor knew about what happened today, the emperor would definitely try to kill Mo Yan. Since only one of Yi Yang and Mo Yan could live, he resolutely chose Mo Yan to live. Seeing Shui Chen's resolute expression, Yi Yang cautiously took a step back and tried his best to comfort Shui Chen. Imperial concubine, don't be impulsive, murder is against the law. That, I can swear by the sky, what happened today, I will never mention it to anyone. Please be patient with the imperial concubine, I will absolutely keep my mouth shut. I'm sorry. I only believe that dead people won't reveal their secrets. Shui Chen looked apologetic. Yi Yang, if you really hate me, I can die with you. Damn, isn't he good to live? Why are we going to die together? Seeing Shui Chen approaching him quickly, Yi Yang was so frightened that his heart trembled. Imperial concubine, calm down. I really won't tell you about your affairs. If you don't believe me, we can secretly exchange secrets. Really? Brother concubine Yi, do you have any secrets to exchange? Or does brother concubine Yi also like someone? Shui Chen asked him with a cold face. Bingo, you're right, I do have someone I like. Yi Yang's words are true, he does have someone he likes, that is, beauties from all walks of life. Hey, brother concubine Yi is playing me like a 3-year-old child? Shui Chen sneered at the corner of his mouth, and he quickened his pace and approached Yi Yang quickly. Yi Yang was so scared, he turned around and ran away. Don't look at Shui Chen, who is usually as warm as jade and looks like a modest gentleman. But when he runs, he is much faster than Yi Yang, which frightens Yi Yang to the point of trembling. Yi Yang looked back, saw Shui Chen getting closer and closer to him, and shouted in fright. Imperial concubine, I didn't see anything, do you believe it? But he couldn't stop scolding his mother in his heart. What's the point of riding a horse? Why was he being hunted down for no apparent reason? Seeing Shui Chen getting closer and closer to him, Yi Yang screamed out, help, help. Shui Chen saw Yi Yang shouting for help. Afraid of attracting the attention of the patrol team, he accelerated his pace, wanting to be as soon as possible to catch Yi Yang. Seeing that the distance between the two was getting closer and closer, the patrols who heard Yi Yang's shouts rushed towards this side quickly. Seeing this, Shui Chen could only hurriedly turn around and run back. Seeing Shui Chen turn around and flee, Yi Yang's legs softened, and he fell directly to the ground, panting and scolding, damn. This imperial concubine looked warm and weak, and he started to run like the wind, and he was borne step by step. The patrols also rushed over after hearing the news, and they looked at Yi Yang, who was sitting on the ground, gasping for nothing, and was a little stunned. Master concubine Yi, what's wrong with you? The patrol captain stepped forward and asked respectfully. Yi Yang replied angrily, come after me when I meet a mad dog. Mad dog? The patrol captain asked with a confused look, are you sure it's a mad dog? Yi Yang nodded with certainty. But how can there be a mad dog in the palace? The patrol captain has been working in the palace for more than 10 years and has never seen a mad dog in the palace. That must be my eyesight. Yi Yang stood up, patted the dust on his buttocks, and said with a smile, would you like to send me? He was really afraid that once the patrol team left, Shui Chen would come out again to kill him. At this moment, he deeply realized what it meant that curiosity killed the cat. The patrols looked stunned. Shouldn't they escort young master concubine Yi? Yi Yang returned to the side hall of Xing Chen Palace and saw that Shui Chen was already waiting in his room. He was so frightened that he turned around and wanted to run away. Brother concubine Yi, can we talk? Shui Chen changed his sternness and asked Yi Yang with a light smile. Yi Yang looked at Shui Chen, who turned his face faster than a book, and his heart beat a drum. As long as you don't kill me, you can say anything. You just need to swear by the sky that you will keep my secrets, and I will not kill you. Shui Chen picked up the teapot on the table, filled 2 cups of tea, and looked at Yi Yang. Brother concubine Yi, do you dare to swear? He did not believe in gods and directly pointed to the sky and swore, the sky is above, and the earth is below. Yi Yang, pointed to the sky today and made an oath. I will never tell anyone what I saw today. If I violate this oath, the sky will be struck by thunder. Then I will die. Okay. Shui Chen nodded with satisfaction. He lifted 2 cups of tea and approached Yi Yang. Then brother concubine Yi, drink this cup of tea. Yi Yang shook his head and refused. No, if I drink it, I'm afraid I will be poisoned. Shui Chen did poison in the tea, but he didn't expect Yi Yang to be so upright, so he pointed it out. Brother concubine Yi, if you're worried, I can drink it first. When he raised the teacup to his lips, and was about to drink it, Yi Yang raised his hand and knocked it to the ground. The tea was sprinkled all over the ground, making a zzz sound, corroding the ground into unevenness. Yi Yang glanced at the bubbling ground and said speechlessly, Imperial concubine, there is no need to die together. I really won't talk about your affairs. After all, it has nothing to do with me. Shui Chen looked sad, and his lips were slightly white. Yi Yang, I can't afford to gamble. If Yi Yang told the emperor what happened today, then Mo Yan would surely die. It didn't matter if he died, but he didn't want Mo Yan to die. Although I am not a man of promises, I also have my own principles. Since I can't say it, I won't tell anyone about it. He looked at Shui Chen and said with a serious face, the imperial concubine. General Mo really loves you. If you die, do you think General Mo will live alone in the world? Shui Chen was stunned. He hadn't thought about this, but in terms of Mo Yan's character, if he died, Mo Yan would most likely go to the underworld of Hades or hell with him. Stop, we can't be together in life, and it's a blessing to be together after death. Shui Chen instantly became sluggish. He took a deep look at Yi Yang, then opened the door and left. Yi Yang stared at the lost figure, and for some reason, his eyes stinged inexplicably. In his heart, he couldn't help but scold the emperor for being selfish. For the sake of Shui Chen's appearance, he forcibly broke up a loving couple. Therefore, with such an emotion, he is a little angry when facing the emperor. This confuses Jun Yi. I don't know where he has provoked Yi Yang. Should he face Yi Yang's anger? At night, the more Jun Yi lay on his dragon bed, the more wrong he felt. He is the emperor, the honor of 95. How can he act according to the face of the concubine? He really wanted to go to the side hall to find Yi Yang's theory. But thinking that it was too late, he had to give up and talk about it tomorrow. The next day, when it was just dawn, the holy city was lively, especially at the entrance of Lan Yuxuan. A long queue formed, causing passers-by to stop and watch. What's this for? Why are there so many people lining up? An uninformed passerby asked curiously as they watched so many people lining up. Ghost knows. This Lan Yuxuan has been open for a long time, but it's empty and nothing. A passerby who visited Lan Yuxuan replied with a sarcastic expression. The owner of Lan Yuxuan is afraid that the money is too much to burn, so they open a shop in the most prosperous street that doesn't sell anything. Someone laughed. Shish! A man in the queue immediately made a gesture of silence and whispered back, I heard that Lan Yuxuan's owner is very powerful. If your remarks are heard by Lan Yuxuan's owner, you are afraid it's dead. The passers-by who were talking about the Yuxuan immediately shut up when they heard that Yuxuan's owner was powerful. And they looked around to make sure that no one else paid attention to their words and deeds, and hurriedly left. In the tea house opposite Lan Yuxuan, Luo Yunxiao, the patriarch of the Luo family, was sitting by the window, drinking good tea while watching the situation of Lan Yuxuan. Xiao Wu, what do you think Lan Yuxuan wants to sell? Luo Yunxiao asked the handsome and strong young man behind him. Back to the master, in the opinion of the subordinates. The subordinates thought that Lan Yuxuan wanted to sell glasses. Luo Wu replied respectfully. Last night, several of his eyeliners picked up information from the homes of several officials, saying that a cup called glass appeared at the celebration banquet. So, he guessed that Lan Yuxuan wanted to sell glasses. I just said that Lan Yuxuan is the property of Emperor Majesty. And those idiots in the family still don't believe it. Luo Yunxiao's expression became a little hazy, and he faintly felt a sense of crisis. If this glass is really similar to Lu Li, then their Lu Li industry will encounter a strong opponent. After pondering for a long time, Luo Yunxiao said solemnly, Xiao Wu, you also go and see. What exactly is the glass covering Lan Yuxuan? Here, Luo Wu responded respectfully, turned and stepped back. Luo Wu lined up behind the crowd, looking at the team that looked like a long dragon, and was even more curious about what the glass looked like. Hey brother, are you also your master asking you to come and buy a cup? The man in front of Luo Wu turned around and chatted with him because he was bored for a while. Yeah, Luo Wu nodded, and asked curiously, are you too? No, I don't know what this glass is new, so it made us come to line up early in the morning. The man's tone was faint with a hint of complaint. I heard my young master say that this glass is like that colored glass. Although it is not as beautiful as the colored glass, it is very practical. Seeing someone talking about the glass, the people in front replied. When Luo Wuyi heard that the glass was not as good as Lu Li, he was overjoyed. At least the glass would not affect their Lu Li. When everyone gets bored with the glass, their Luo family's Lu Li will become a sought-after object of the nobles again. He queued for a long time. And when the sun reached 3 poles, the line in front began to move. When the front team bought the glasses and came out, everyone looked at the translucent glasses and translucent dishes, all with novel eyes. Luo Wu looked at the translucent glass. Although the translucent glass was beautiful, the craftsmanship was extremely simple, which was far from their Lu Li glass. After waiting in line for an hour, he finally bought a glass with 100 taels of silver. He walked out of Lan Yuxuan, looked at the glass in his hand, and complained for a while. One glass was sold for 100 taels of silver, so black heart. But he forgot that a piece of ordinary colored glaze from their Luo family would sell for thousands of taels of gold. He took the glass and went back to the tea house opposite. And Luo Yunxiao, who has been sitting by the window, has changed from tea to wine. When Luo Yunxiao saw Luo Wu coming back, he quickly turned his attention to the glass in Luo Wu's hand. The style of the glass is very simple, but because it is translucent, it gives the glass a little class. He took the glass that Luo Wu handed over and looked at it carefully. Yes, the color is translucent, but it's novel. It's just. He shook his head with a look of regret. It's just that the craftsmanship is simple and extremely easy to imitate. Therefore, this glass can only be sold for a high price during this time. This thing. The Holy Dynasty should be able to make it too. Luo Wuyi replied with a respectful expression. That's natural. Luo Yunxiao looked proud when he mentioned the Holy Dynasty. After seeing Lan Yuxuan's glass, the sense of crisis in Luo Yunxiao's heart quickly disappeared. Unexpectedly, in the afternoon, Lan Yuxuan launched a high-grade liquor, which attracted all wine lovers. Especially after Luo Yunxiao drank the drunken lovesickness of Lan Yuxuan's family, he could no longer drink the good wine that he had hoarded. It was the first time he drank such strong spirits when he grew up, and he couldn't help but sigh, "What did I drink before?" Afraid that a can of wine would not be enough for him to drink, he hurried Luo Wuyi to buy more drunk acacia wine. And Luo Wu, who went to buy wine, received new news. He hurried back and said to Luo Yunxiao, who was intoxicated by the wine, "Master, Lan Yuxuan has released news that tomorrow Lan Yuxuan will hold an auction, saying it's an auction goblet." Auction? What is that? Luo Yunxiao had never heard the word auction at all. Luo Wu bowed his head and replied respectfully, back to Master, said that everyone can bid. And whoever bids the highest price will get the goblet. This emperor of holy virtue really knows how to play. Luo Yunxiao admired such a good idea. Why hadn't he thought of it before? If their Lu Li also held an auction, they would definitely sell for more money. Oh, I feel like I have lost tens of thousands of taels of gold invisibly. Suddenly, his expression froze, and a sense of crisis struck him instantly, and he hurriedly asked, "Xiao Wu, has this Emperor Majesty met someone from outside the world? Otherwise, why is Zheng Yi in the limelight during this time?" Some time ago, he was ready to incite the people to revolt and create some trouble for the Holy Dynasty. Who would have thought that Zheng Yi morally kidnapped them, and half coerced them to give alms, so that all the affected people would be happy with Zheng Yi's sage? After finally seeing the palace, he incited the people of the holy city to say that Zheng Yi was not the son of heaven and was not worthy of being the emperor, and even encouraged Zheng Ao to rebel. It wasn't over yet. This Zheng Yi immediately brought out the glass, the drunk acacia, and the goblet, which made him feel a sense of crisis. If Zheng Yi is allowed to develop, then their Luo family will be suppressed to the point of no breathing room. It seems they have to pick up the pace. He said with a serious face, "Xiao Wu, now is the season for planting golden hemp. You released the news and said that our Luo family is going to open a cloth shop and need a lot of golden hemp. Here, Luo Wuling life, turn around and leave."